Hello, good morning. Hi, it's Elizabeth. Monday morning, May 18th. I feel like I've been away. I haven't seen you in a few days. Last week, I was participating in the National Association of Realtors mid-year meetings. Many of you knew that. You got to see Jamie and the other crew kind of coming in. So it's nice to see you again this morning. Nice to be here with you all. Comment in the comments. Yes, hello, good morning. Billy, hi, nice to see you. Hello, Jamie. Hello. Good to see my crew again. So, yeah, last week, 28,000 people participated where there was a normal average attendance of 9. So lots of good information, lots of information you can find, and you can access all of it on the National Association of Realtors Facebook page for the main live sessions. And of course, some of you saw Brian Buffini. He was on Thursday and talking about his 5-Circle Fit program, which we kicked off as an office on Friday, kind of a mastermind group. I think we have about 20 people participating between our 2 offices, kind of sharing goals in the areas of spirituality, family, business, financial, and just personal. And the great thing is again, it's totally free. You don't have to participate in the masterminds to still get the information. You can go to the podcast and also go to his Facebook Live to kind of see his accounts. But this weekend, so hopefully you guys had a good weekend with different things going on. My niece graduated. She's down in Jacksonville, Florida. She has a really small high school class. It was like 24 people. And I'm still not exactly sure how they did graduation, but I got to see her in her cap and gown on the steps of her school. So it was kind of nice getting to see her with her friends and everything, and just, of course, wishing them a great thing. And I mean, again, the creativity, guy, I mean, it is amazing, the creativity that has happened just all over the world. And Jamie's son's getting ready to graduate here coming up. And Thornbrook in Columbia, they had like a drive-by parade. I mean, it looked like this massive homecoming parade with people on the streets and everything, you know, kind of decked out in the convertibles and people driving. So that was kind of cool. Good morning, Robin. But the creativity that is coming out of just so many new ways to do things. I mean, just so much innovation. It's just really special, and I just can't wait. If you think about like 20 years from, I mean, it's gonna be a year from now, but what's really going to be cool is the books that come out, if they're still books, whatever it may be, 20 years now, from 30 years now, telling the story and really telling the story of what has happened during this time period and what evolved and what skyrocketed to the top and what didn't at the same time. Adam Contos was on this morning, of course, our CEO with Remax, and he was mentioning, and I thought it was a great point that he talked about the fact, he said, you know, every time you go one direction, you generally overcompensate in another direction. And he was talking about recessions. Good morning, Deborah. Talking about recessions and things and saying, you know, what happens is you go one way and then you absolutely bounce back higher the other way. And there's no doubt that real estate's kind of leading this recovery. So a couple of things that I learned last week from kind of participating in some of the events. One was with Lawrence Yun, and that session was on Wednesday. So if you are going back and looking and wanting to track, you can find Lawrence in his residential and economic trends, which was on Wednesday. He mentioned this number, and I thought this was interesting. Personal savings are up 152%. So personal savings are up 152%. So people are saving more, they're not spending as much, and that number is going to track very particularly into savings accounts. And so, I mean, you know, whether it's they took their PPP money or whether that's where that is, or unemployment, those are some pretty high numbers. Another number he mentioned was that restaurant sales, and of course we would know this, they are down 60 to 70%. So that obviously is a pretty big number. Now, another interesting number, and he's still reporting on March, because April numbers, of course, it takes like 30 days for these numbers to kind of come in and lag. But in March, building and garden supplies were up 10.4%. And we know we've seen that a lot in the building supplies and, of course, what people are doing with their houses and fixing things up. And then another time number that he said was, as far as clothing sales, were down 52%, 52.4. So just some kind of interesting numbers when you think about your shareables. What do you want to share? Just even putting out there that personal savings were up 152%. You can cite Lawrence Yun, National Association of Realtors economist. That's a pretty big, interesting number, and people are going to comment on that, and they're going to talk about that and be interested in that. So lots of more statistics from him, but I thought that was interesting. And so then another kind of, as you know, I keep talking about my podcast and fun things that I'm listening to, learning with some different things. And Saturday morning, I just turned it on and was listening to, while I was kind of doing some things around the house, Oprah, who always has inspirational and great thoughts and things to kind of tune in and kick your day off. So let's see, Motivational Monday. We'll start with some tips on that. She mentioned and said, and I love this, she said, will you make the decisions today to put yourself first? Because if without that, everything else is going to fail. Will you make this decisions today to put yourself first? Because without that, everything else is going to fail. And of course, for this group in particular, in this audience and us as an audience in particular, we are very focused on making sure that we're taking care of everyone else in our lives and what's going on with that. And they related it to when you're on a plane, and a woman kind of got on and she made the comment. She said, I've never understood the oxygen mask. When the oxygen mask comes down from the ceiling, put your oxygen mask on first before you put it on everyone else. And Oprah even said, she said, have you ever been on a plane when an oxygen mask has come down? And she said, I have. And you realize real quickly, if you don't take care of yourself first, there's no way you're going to take care of everyone else. And kind of along with that concepts. Now, another great quote that I thought that came from that session, and I don't know if she says it or who says it or what says it, but some different things was, and it said, the only way to get back on track is to track it. The only way to get back on track is to track it. And many of you, with the ongoing holy grail conversation of real estate, happened since I've been in, real estate from day one, has been CRMs and tracking information and kind of doing that. And, we've had a lot of different CRMs along the way, a lot of different ways people have used things. Sharon Keating mentioned in our mastermind last group that she uses Wise Agent, and Wise Agent is a very reasonably priced CRM system that is has a lot of functionality, easy to use. I know it's never easy for everyone, but it is. But if you know Sharon, if Sharon uses it, you can do it too. Sorry, Sharon. But yeah, it's because it's functional. And most importantly is if you're going to get something, you want to use something that you can use. So she uses that product. And then of course, Top Producers, kind of like I don't want to say it's the Rolls Royce. It's more like, again, it's more just like the conglomeration of years and years and years of experience. And some of you use it and some of you use parts of it. And then the other one that is highlighted and several of you use is Referral Maker, from the Referral Maker CRM, which again is part of the Buffini program, which right now the Buffini program is the $195 for the personal mastery. And that includes the Referral Maker plus his mailings plus the education. So there's a really great bundle on that right now. But otherwise, it's about $20 a month for Referral Maker. And it's really, what we love about Referral Maker is it really, really just focuses in on those basic tasks that you need to do. You can add to it as much as you want, add to a mint to it to track personal finances and do some different things. But it's really focused on, how many people did you contact? How many people did you email? How many people did you phone call? How many notes did you write? And you can change that and tailor that for how you like it. But the only way to get back on track is to track it. Now, the last quote, or it wasn't necessarily a quote that she had, but I thought this was pretty interesting. And I love this because we've all been talking about, like, what's our one word and what's our word? And of course, I'm ending every session of our live talks each day with energy, which I love. Energy is my word. It's my one word. It always reminds me to have energy, how much faster things can move with energy, positive energy, those types of things. But the question that she asked was, what is your one word that will make you focus? Which is very much a different question. It could be that same word. For me, that word energy does provide me focus, because one of the things it does is it reminds me to focus my personal energy. And how do I get energy? Which means focusing more, being here one-on-one with you totally gives me energy 100%, knowing, that you've done something each day, hopefully to reach out and connect. It reminds me to work out, because if I don't work out, I don't have my personal energy. And, that those two correlate just like this. Reminds me to eat better, reminds me to feed my mind, because Again, those things give you personal energy. So what is that word for you, that one word? And put it in the comments if you're watching. Go ahead and comment. This can be interactive. What is that one word that makes you focus or makes you think about focus? Is it productivity? Is it belief? Is it goals? Is it is it space? Sometimes you just need space, and this time sometimes you need space, and it's okay to need space from other people and do some different things like that. So what is that one word for you that kind of gives you focus? So that would be another a little task of mine today. And Jennifer Shipman saying ice cream. Robin saying be present. Present is certainly a word which I think a lot of us struggle with, of making sure that where we are at that time is be present. And ice cream's always good, which, by the way, somebody and it was either from our office or from the Jefferson City office posted that there was a new ice cream place in Jefferson City. And of course, Central Dairy is my go-to, right? ADHD is your word to remember to stay focused. And whoever just typed in ADHD, remember to go to the top of this and enable those comments on the screen. That way I can see who you are, because otherwise I just see Facebook user. So that freedom, another great word. And yes, you too, top of the comments, and hit that for next time. And we only have to do it once, and then I'll know who you are from this point forward. But freedom is a good word. Oh, and Billy's saying the new ice cream place in Jeff City is amazing. So what's the name of it, Billy? We need to know, because I'm always stopping off at Central Dairy to get a little treat on the way back. Ice Cream Factory. So a great chance to get together and meet some people, and try a new spot to head out on the weekend if you want to do that as well. So for this week, obviously with your business practices, we're kind of coming back in again with that open house piece of it and doing some open houses. Keep in mind that the different cities have different regulations. Columbia's got 10 or less at a property, but we've got you great signs. Jamie posted about those last Thursday that you can put outside and text and have people kind of come in. And thank you, Janine. Yes, Ice Cream Factory was the winner of the spot in Jefferson City. And so, yeah, focus on your business practices that you've got going with different open houses and things. So make sure you're doing that. The other thing is the numbers are still statistically showing 100% that buyers and sellers were putting off their buying and selling decisions for a few months, not forever, for a few months. So we are in that critical time period where reaching out is still important. Maybe you've been doing that for the past 2 months. Great, that's super. Wanted to keep in touch, wanted to do, hair in my mouth. Wanted to do some different things, and do that. But then the other thing is that you want to make sure you're keeping in touch with your clients, because summer's going to look like spring. Fall's going to look a little bit like summer. We know for sure that's going to happen, and we're going to get clobbered here as we kind of come into this kind of a little bit of pent-up demand as people are trying to decide what they want to move. As far as your shareables go, that's easy. That's easy. Who knows exactly what we should be sharing right now today? I posted about it last night. It's taken over the world with a storm. It is your Facebook avatars, right? Taking over the world. Everybody's on Facebook with their avatars. If you're the one person who looks there and says that looks absolutely stupid, it probably means you were having a hard time figuring out your avatar. The great thing about avatars is we all do a little less lines on our faces than we probably should. We all probably choose the body that's a little bit skinnier than we like. But when avatars first started, I don't know if you remember, there was that whole cloud concept, and basically you could choose somebody that completely didn't look like you because it was an avatar. It was somebody totally different. And for some reason, the ones on Facebook, they look totally different than sometimes of what we are. And then I've seen people who have gray hair and they're posting with dark hair. At least try to get a little close to what you look like, because you do want somebody to know it's you and that somebody didn't hack your Facebook account. I think we're all looking at that going, oh my gosh, did we get ours right or not? I imagine they'll have more enhancements as it goes. But it's certainly fun. It's engaging. Remember, it's keeping people happy, which is what we want to do when we want to post on social media. And then, of course, the other great thing is it integrates with all of our other products. So you can go on there, and we posted that in both the Facebook groups of how you can download your avatar, then put it up into Photify, use that for your marketing campaigns, put it on Instagram, use a lot of different things. And here's the other thing I want to say about this right now. While it's fun, while it may seem silly, kind of like those cartoon characters, one of the things that it demonstrates and shows about you is that you are understanding and using some of the new social tools and resources that are out there. And so be real careful about not making fun of it, because it is a demonstration of your social interaction and the tools that you use online. And maybe that's not for you, and maybe that's not your gig yet, but just know that, again, it kind of just shows a little elevation of how you can use and do things. So keep that in mind. So there's a great shareable to kind of play around with, and certainly go comment on other people's, hey, that looks great. Hey, you created a good one. It's just a no-brainer to focus on for probably the next week as everybody's figuring out and playing that. They just came out on the 15th. So fun thing to do there. Training. Lots of great training again coming up this week. I feel like, initially Remax was like blasting on the training as fast as they can. And now, oh my gosh, it's like kicking it up to an entire new level, because they've engaged different speakers and things who maybe for the first couple of weeks weren't on the program, or maybe were busy doing other things. So, I mean, gosh, guys, there is never a better time to be engaged with those webinars, which are happening at 11 o'clock every day. And of course, don't forget Right Tools right now. So Monday, it's a great start to a Monday, as Keith Bowles would say, alive, excited, and full of energy, which is going to be our word, which is what we're going to end with. So go out in the community, share some different things, take your avatar and travel your avatar to different restaurants and post different restaurants and say, hey, my avatar ate at Heidelberg today. My avatar ate at the ice cream factory today. My avatar ate at, Madison's today. I ate at Addison. We have Addison's and Madison's in the two different marketplaces, Take a little picture of the restaurant, put your avatar out in front. That's going to be fun, and definitely give some input to the community as well. And then share that real estate information. I think all of us, we have our statistics lined up. Our board in Columbia just sent statistics out for Columbia. Now you have the same thing for Jefferson City. Share the real estate information. And of course, have a wonderful Monday. Be full of energy. We will see you tomorrow on Tuesday. Love you guys. Have a great day.